and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
And welcome back to the show. Of course, I'm your host, Mike David, and joining me today, please welcome my guest, Sunday Bright. Sunday, how are you today?
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing excellent myself. Thanks for asking. And as always, why don't you start with first putting out your contact info or whatever is the best way for my audience to reach out to you for after the show.
Okay. I can be emailed at IAM, at Sunday, SUNDI, Bright, BRIGHT.com. My web address, sundaybright.com or bright-future.net. My phone number is 949-295-6135. And those are the best ways.
And then, Sunday, welcome back. We're definitely excited to have you back on with us, and we're definitely looking forward to getting a little bit more insight and information, of course. But for those out there who are maybe first time tuning into you or just may not be as familiar, if you don't mind, just going over what it is you do exactly and just a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely, Mike. The products and services I offer all center around helping people shift out of a vibration that is creating problems in one's life to one that is in alignment with who they really are and what they want. Your life is your creation, and if you have a problem with your health, finances, or relationships, then there's an energetic imbalance that is the result of unresolved past traumas that create limitations. And it's my mission in life to help you access those hurts and heal them so that you can gain the power you were meant to gain in that situation and advance along your path in a joyous way. And last time I talked about neutralizing negative emotions in regards to any present unwanted experience as to the first step in manifesting what you want. I look at manifesting what you want as a formula consisting of 3 parts. The first involves addressing low vibration. The second involves moving to a better vibration. And the third involves getting help from the universe. And in this session, I want to talk about the second step, moving to a better vibration. But to summarize the first step, if you're having negative emotions about a current situation, i.e. you have a problem related to your health, finances, or relationships, you want to neutralize the charge that created the problem. In most cases, there's an incident from a long ago that was extremely hurtful. The pain in that situation caused a part of your true self to go into hiding, while the negative emotions festered into something that isn't you, often called the ego, shadow, or inner demon. And it wreaked havoc in your life, resulting in an imbalanced state that is manifesting what you don't want. And I like to look at it more along the lines of it being a pattern within that projects out as the illusion of a problem designed to get your attention and correct your course. Because looking at it this way can help you feel less hopeless as illusions quickly dissipate when you come into alignment with who you are. And to get a better idea of how to be neutral, if you didn't hear my last interview, you might want to pull up the archives and check that out. But to summarize, neutralizing involves healing the past so that the limitations that were created there are released, opening you up to be able to choose a better experience. It's really super hard to choose to be abundant when you're still vibrating at a level of lack from a previous experience. So this week I want to talk about the right vibration to manifest your desires. Being neutral, as talked about in my last broadcast, is to be your key underlying state. Neutral is not needy, desperate, or as I have learned from experience, even excited. These emotions all vibrate out as not having, and that is what they attract back. I always thought that excitement was like knowing it was going to show up and therefore a good vibration to be at. But from my own experience, and I do believe there might have been a touch of desperation and need in that excitement. Excitement always seemed to actually ruin my manifestation. But when you're neutral, you know you've healed the past, bringing you to a state of power that allows you to consciously create your life experience. So neutral is great, although there is more, and that is 1, being clear on what you want, 2, believing you can have it, And 3, being open to the changes that have to take place in order to move you to the destination of your desire.
How do you maybe get clear on what you want? Where do you begin?
Anyway, I don't know about you, but when I'm having negative emotions, I usually want some pie-in-the-sky miracle that will get me out of a situation I'm not happy about. And that never works because the negative emotions that are supposed to teach me something are actually heightened, and unless I learn what that is, I'm stuck there. And only when I'm neutral am I able to more clearly see what's best for me. From a neutral standpoint, your soul will whisper to you what its intentions were for this lifetime, and that will feel like a specific desire. When neutral, I'm personally much more conscious of where I'm meant to be going. My desires are less about moving away from the don't want and more about what I want to experience next. The present experience, although I may have resisted the difficulty, has allowed me to grow in some way that brings me the power to take the next step on my journey. So being grateful for the gift or power in where you're at is ideal because there's no lack whatsoever in that. So when you're ready for a new chapter in your life, you look at what the gift is in the present situation and you use that to write the next chapter. So knowing what you want from a mindset of expansion as opposed to escape is ideal, and that happens pretty naturally when you get neutral on your current situation, knowing that there is a lesson in it meant to help you expand to that next level. So winning the lottery, so you can quit your job, for example, is going to be a tough one to manifest if you're unhappy with your job.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. Now, what about the second part, that belief part? How does that work?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed that some things are easier to believe than other things, and when I have manifested something easily, I always look at what my energy was like at the time. The times that I believed something without any kind of pressing need were the times I manifested something super easily. It's easy to get frustrated when you don't have something, and that only vibrates out as not having. So here's a way you can play with energy to experience this for yourself. If you ever find yourself losing an item, here's how you can practice with the energy that creates what you want. With lost items, you know you had it at one point, so it feels like it has to be somewhere, which gives you the belief that you'll find it, plus you know what that thing feels like to have it. So it's easy to access that state. So you get neutral, you set intention to have the thing, and then let go until it shows up or it comes to mind where you left it. And let me give an example here. It's actually a frog that taught me how to manifest, believe it or not. I tend to bring in green tree frogs for the winter when I find them outside when it's really cold. And one evening I was feeding a frog that I'd named Libby and ended up leaving the top off his tank. When I came into the room the next morning, he was gone. And I panicked at first. I'm on this frog Facebook group, and a lady talked about how hers got out, and she ended up finding him dead. So at first I was freaking out. And then I caught myself in that panic. I paused for a moment, I thought about the frog, and then I left the room. When I came back, I swear to God, the frog was sitting next to the table that I keep them on. And he seemed as happy to see me as I was to see him. But I believed I would find him because I knew he had to be in the room somewhere, plus I know what his energy feels like. So I simply thought about the frog, and then he appeared. And that happens to me a lot with lost items. In fact, it's happened 3 times with frogs. But if you can believe something, you set intention and you let go. It's that simple. Belief has a great power to imprint into the ethers the possibility of your desire.
Wow, that's pretty cool, you know, that situation with the frog there.
I know.
Yeah, now, Sunday, I do have more follow-up questions for you, of course, but because I was always under the impression that you just have to kind of work maybe super hard to get something and just put in the time and the effort. So I wanted to ask you, is it take more than just that?
Well, that's a good question. This is when you want to, and it's not so much about hard work. It's about being guided to the work. What you want to do is you want to really kind of check in with your belief. You want to visualize what you want, and you want to really, really notice how you feel when you're visualizing the thing that you want. Pay attention to if there's any resistance, if you feel that disbelief, if you feel like, do I not really want it? If there's limiting beliefs, to the inner voice saying that you can't have something. I always feel, when I'm putting it out there, I can almost feel that, like, I can just feel the resistance, and I have to look at it. But when I haven't been able to manifest, when I think about the thing that I'm saying I want, I can almost always feel the resistance when I imagine it, or I can't imagine it at all. You look closely at the resistance to determine what it is, where it comes from, and then choose to turn it around. Sometimes all you have to do is put your attention on that resistance to actually break through it. I mean, it's like fear. When you face it, it actually backs down. And part of it may be fear. So if you're saying you can't have something, look at all the times you've had something similar as evidence that you can have it. You want to start building in your mind the ways that you can have it, or other people who have it. I always say if someone else can do it, so can I. And that can also help you break out of jealousy, as jealousy is detrimental to any manifestation. If someone else has something you want, it may just be the universe showing you that you can have it too, so you don't want to reject that offering. Come up with a way that you can see your desire being created, simply so that you can believe it. Don't get stuck on a specific plan, though, as the universe may have a better way of bringing it to you. But you want to come up with a way that you can see as feasible so that you create the belief. Shamans know that there are elements in nature that have the energy of what you need to help bring you to the vibration that will help you manifest your desire. For example, if you're unenthusiastic, the essence of fire can be summoned to motivate you. This is more of a topic of my next talk, and the third part to manifesting. But when you're drawn to a certain elements in nature, they could be calling to you to share their energy with you to help you get to the vibration to manifest what you want. Numbers are a good example. 888 means abundance, 111 means manifesting. But say you're seeing 888. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're about to have abundance, but it is. But it does bring you those numbers have that energy of abundance. So if you keep seeing those numbers, then it's the universe bringing you that vibration of abundance. I know it's hard to believe. Just know that it's Great Spirit in whatever form you consider this higher power speaking to you through the elements. God speaks through His creation. He offers assistance through the energy of His creations. Pause and take it in when the gift is provided. I'm particularly drawn to crystals and animals. In fact, I weave copper, silver, and gold wire around crystals and other gemstones, creating jewelry that not only allows you to wear the stone for its energy, but has specific programming in the weave to help you with a specific problem. This came to me a couple of years ago, and I'm still pretty much in awe of it. I don't want to go into too much detail here about that, but you can find my work at shamanstyledstones.com and read the descriptions on the pieces to see what they mean. They may be talking directly to you. As I look at the piece after I've created it, and it tells me a story. It's like doing a reading on somebody. The reading is in the stone, and or it's in the pendant. And you can also like my Facebook page under Shaman Styled Stones to see how I do readings from a piece of jewelry that I've created. But there are also animals, and I'm sure you've heard of spirit animals and totems. These animals come into your life to offer their energy to guide you in that area that will help you unleash your own potential. And speaking of potential, above I mentioned, earlier I mentioned that pain in a challenging situation could have caused a part of your true self to go into hiding. And that part of yourself may actually hold the potential that is needed to manifest your desire. A soul retrieval is something that would be needed in that case. And that's something that shamans do, like myself. Those who feel lost or not quite whole, or that are missing something when it comes to how to obtain their desire, may need this part of their soul retrieved and reintegrated into the greater part of who they are. And then once you're in the state of believing, you just set your intention and simply let go. You're going to be guided to the creation of your desire. And yes, there may be something you have to do, and there may be challenges that you have to overcome. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast. That harness a power you need on this path to what you want. But if you let go and know that everything that happens is to bring you to your desire, your life will flow in the right direction.
Yeah, well said, well said. Now, when you talk about, challenges that you might have to overcome, what is it that you mean by that?
Well, that brings me to my next point. When you set intention, the universe starts working in your favor. If your vibration is not in alignment with what you desire, challenges could be presented in order for you to shift out of the limiting beliefs and such by gaining a power or gift that challenge has for you. So life is like a movie. The most interesting endings are the ones where we prevailed over hardship by becoming stronger and used that strength to take us to the victory of our desire. The Synchronicity Key by David Wilcock is an excellent read on this subject. And next week I'm going to talk more about the ways the universe talks to you. But for now, I want you to know that if you look at each one of these challenges as an opportunity to gain the power or gift in it, so that it can advance you along your path to what you want, you'll move forward with ease. And that goes back to being neutral, as discussed last week. Challenges can be processed by journaling, and my transformative journaling outline asks the questions that bring you to the realization of where your power is in any situation. And that outline can be downloaded at how to. Next week I'm going to talk about noticing and how to navigate the path to your desire.
Amazing stuff there. And again, Sundie, for those who want to find out more about some of the things we've talked about and your services, again, where is it that people can go?
SundieBright.com or bright-future.net, or email me at iam@Sundi, SUNDI, bright, BRIGHT.com.
Sounds good. Sundie, thank you so much once again for taking the time out to share some amazing information with us today and also helping out our audience. We always appreciate that.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Thanks again. And for everyone else out there, please stay tuned. We're going to be right back.